Hi, welcome back to Take Comfort the Book. This week, as I promised, I'm going to read chapters 13 through 17 of Brooklyn We Go Hard by Tatiana Vilbrun-Etienne. So in chapter 13, Lynn went to Brent's house with an agenda of staying with him throughout the night. Of course, that wouldn't work out in her favor. Brent was falling to her charms, but he was trying to push back so he can think of who he really likes, Brooke, and, stay loyal to her. He wasn't trying to mess up the relationship that he had, and even though he was falling prey to it, eventually, he fought through it, and Brooke ended up staying with him at their house. But come to chapter 14, Lynn decided that she wanted to post pictures of herself and Brent on Facebook, cause some drama, because she knew that Brooke wasn't the type to be confrontational. She knew that she wouldn't try to pick a fight or anything. She knew that she would kind of just stay in the background and all that. She wanted to make sure that people knew that she was with Brent, or at least was trying to get with Brent, or was on Brent's mind somehow. And that she did that by posting those pictures. It's making a claim on him, like he's some kind of territory. Doing that, Brent got angry and actually kind of lashed out at her. He was talking about how she was fake and she was all these things, and it really it burst her bubble, this confidence bubble that she put herself through, and it seemed like he's the only thing that could really tear her down from feeling that kind of way. Brent is the only thing on her mind that she cares about right now, so him telling her all these things, it really shocks her. Because she was feeling insecure, she decided to call Brooke, put her on the phone, and try to make it seem like, Brent was trying to cheat on Brooke and get with Lynn, but the plan didn't work, and Brooke saw right through it, and Brent saw right through it, and everybody kind of just ended up, being angry at Lynn and pushing her to the side, because they all knew what she was trying to do, what her agenda was, and it was something that really affected Lynn's day. Everybody was coming at her, all these people that were kind of important in her life, everybody was coming at her, and to hear that, I can imagine how bad she must feel by herself. Having Brent right now is the only thing that's really uplifting her, so having all the things that she's doing to fall through, having the one that she's doing it for to reject her and instead want her best friend, it really stabbed to her heart. After that happened, Brent decided to go to Brooke's house because he wanted to explain himself, tell his side of the story, but there was already too much going on, and he showed up with a hickey on his neck, and then she was just not having it. She was so angry, and she just kicked him out. She was not wanting to talk to him, and he he knew he messed up. She blocked him, so that sucked. And of course, Miss E had to make a reference to herself, as it says, chapter 14 says, he stopped on Flatbush to listen to this young lady named Tatiana, who spoke about the pros and cons of technology and social media. She had an audience consisting of onlookers, and all of whom stopped to applaud her well-conveyed message. Brent took the flyer that had a beautifully faded picture of this young lady, and the words seemed to embrace his current state of being. It said, we are all actors and actresses working for these companies that are all connected yet unique to a specific genre. We smile and pose our ways into the text messaging conversations, and we all end up connectively disconnected. Chapter 15 is about Sumaya. It's talking about how much she misses him, because they haven't really been hanging out after her incidents with him, after, she tried to basically tell him how much she loves him and all that, but, he wasn't really into her. They're just best friends, nothing more than that. Sumaya still really likes Brent, but as she saw Brooke in the street walking away, ignoring Brent, she decided that she's going to try to patch him up between them, because she realizes how hurt Brooke is. And she realized that really Brooke and Brent were kind of meant to be together in a way. They really loved each other more than she could say about the rest of them, and she could see how Brent felt towards her, how he acted towards her. He acted he acted much differently.
Have you ever had a dream that that you could do so you want him to do you so much you could do anything.
He acted differently to her than he did to every other female that's tried to get with him or be with him or has been with him in the past. So it was definitely an eye-opener to her that even though she still loves Brent, whether as a best friend or as a friend or as a lover, they were people that were meant to be together. Chapter 16 is about Lynn and Brooke. So Lynn ends up calling Brooke to tell her that they need to talk and they should meet up. And they were both very nervous. Like, they haven't talked to each other in so long. But yeah, they started kind of with an ego talking to each other. Like, they were just not wanting to admit anything that happened. And then eventually Lynn started to tell Brooke of all the things that she did wrong, all the wrongs that she committed in their relationship and why it all went bad. But Lynn decided to take the high road and say that them blaming each other wouldn't go anywhere, and that she realizes that she probably doesn't need a friendship like that in her life, and if it's not gonna yield anything, productive and anything positive, then she can stay there for life. And with that, she felt like relief, like a burden has been lifted from her, while Lynn was the one who ended up frozen. She didn't know what to do. She was shocked by that happening. She definitely wasn't expecting that. After all she tried to do, she wasn't expecting Brooke to take it. In chapter 17, Brooke finally decides to go to Brent's house, talk to him, and that's when she meets him on the stairs with another girl coming out of his apartment. That, first of all, shocks her, of course, and then she sees her mother behind her waiting for her and calling out to her, and she kind of just tried to ignore her and talk to Brent, but that didn't work. And the mother started beating her. She took her home. She was beating her on the streets. She was crying. It was all bad. She went home, eventually fell asleep at one point, but still thinking about Brent and the girl that he was with. It was really the only thing on her mind. And she also had her mother's friends, which are her aunts, there talking about her. They're all talking about each other's children and all that, which is kind of interesting, to see the family dynamics and all that. But eventually she couldn't handle it anymore, and then she decided to call to see who the girl was that was now with Brent. And that is where the chapter ended. So we will see what happens in chapter 18 next week. Next week, we're going to be doing chapters 18 to 22. So come meet us and see what happens in Brent and Brooke's relationship. And find out what happens when she talks to the girl on the phone who answered instead of Brent. Remember, we are reading Brooklyn We Go Hard by Tatiana Vilbrun-Etienne. Thank you.